G'day and welcome to BENSWORX. On this week's episode, we're going to preserve a wasp life cycle. So I noticed this wasp nest attached to the gutter near the entrance of my workshop. Now unfortunately I'm allergic to bees and wasps, so I knew I had to take this one down. So after I knocked it off and all the wasps had disappeared, I decided to take a look inside. And this is what I found. All different stages of the life cycle. Now I know this might gross a few people out, but to me it's really interesting. I like the way that you can see how it starts off as an egg and goes through the 3 different stages of larvae before becoming an adult. I think other people might be interested in these as well, but they might not want to get so up close and personal with them, so I think a nice way to display them will be in a block of resin. And I think if we make a wooden base and a nice light shining up, I reckon it'll look really cool. Also, if you guys have any suggestions as to what I should do with this little nest, let me know in the comments. So now that we've got the blank out of the pot, it's time to get started on the stand. Now I've got myself a nice piece of Australian Mallee Burl, and I thought it might look good if I used the chisel mortiser, made myself a rectangle in the middle here, and then inserted the blank. But before I do that, there's one thing I want to try. I want to go to my laser engraver and try and engrave a wasp on the front here. It's now time for me to work on the lighting system. I got myself 2 LEDs, a resistor and a USB power cord. Now I just got to figure out how I'm going to mount them. I really want to mount these LEDs at the bottom so that they shine up. So I think the only way to do this will be to drill 2 holes from the bottom and then one on the side for the USB cable to come out. Then I'll putty up these holes underneath and you'll never know they existed. So I've been having to think of how I'm going to wire up these LEDs. Originally I was going to run them up the 2 holes in the base here, then run the power cable in and connect it up, but I have got 2 sharp right angles in here and I just don't think I'll be able to get the wire around them to be able to connect them. So I think my best option will be to take out some of the wood out of the bottom here, then connect them all up, then fill it back in with another piece of wood, and then I think to finish it off and make it look nice, I'll apply some flock. So I've just spent the last hour refining the shape of the block and the stand. That way I've got a nice snug fit. Now the next thing I need to do is sand and polish the front and back edges until it becomes clear like glass. Like I said at the start of this video, this project might gross a few people out, but to me I found it really interesting. And if you guys have made it this far into the video, I'm assuming you guys find it interesting too. One other thing I noticed with this project is people who don't like bugs, like my mum for instance, happily picked this up and checked it out. And now it's time for you guys to check it out.